But like in terms of me sending anything to another person, it's like it's because I'm in it, not because somebody else is in it. Just to be super clear on that.
Oh, that means nothing to me.
No, I've never in my life have I done that. I would never do it. Well, 14 years ago with the one blue tea girl.
I love this. This is like, I've never done this thing. Oh, except for the one that Ryan Beard caught me on. That one I'm going to have to admit to.
If you don't want to talk to me or if you don't do anything to me, then just stop broadcasting about me, stop talking about me constantly.
We're all the problem for being like, hey, this really abnormal that you claim this person's a stalker and you continue to message them in a very flirtatious manner.
Listen, if you guys want to talk about it, go get Kiwi Farms, whatever, get the out of my chat, don't talk about it there.
That was not an effort to dox her is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, what the fuck?
He signal boosts some woman's docs on Kiwi Farm, and then he reframes it as like, hey, stop talking about it in my chat. You can go talk about it there.
I think Lab and Mr. Girl coined this concept of like, I get off on this sadistic abuse of women or whatever.
Yeah,
but like, that's not it. It's like,
maybe that's true. I don't know. A fat guy would know the most about food, so crazy abusive people would know the most about another crazy abusive person, no? Thank God Destiny's had so much time to try to figure out a way that he feels like he can explain this, however many months later. All right, let's get this started. WillyMac promised a follow-up to his Destiny coverage, and a follow-up we have gotten. Let's do a little palate cleanser from all the Ethan content. That's something a little bit different. So yeah, let's see what we got here, man. Content Cop Destiny. It's a fun little title. I like it a lot.
A lot has changed. We have a court document from...
Okay, hold on.
Since my last Destiny video, a lot has changed.
Okay.
We have a court document from Pixie's legal team alleging that he was deleting evidence, specifically messages with multiple women, who have claimed that he shared sex videos with them without the participants' consent. So he wasn't just...
Well, yeah, didn't we already kind of like know that specifically for her stuff? I think that there was one video of him filleting another man where it was like weirdly... was that the one where it was like muffled and it was like in his pocket? It's like, I can't imagine that was done consensually. Was it like, was the guy really into pretending that he wasn't, like, why would it need to be muffled in the pocket? It doesn't even make any sense to me.
Just sharing videos with Rose, he was sending it to other women who then told Pixie. I had a conversation with Anna, who claims Destiny sent her videos of girls that she'd never seen before.
So, I've been sent videos.
Crazy.
I have no way of knowing if they were consensually, like, recorded or sent.
In my last video, I made clear that if Destiny wanted to be taken seriously again, he'd have to own up to what he did. He's always preaching about accountability. But now when it's his time to finally own up, he doesn't. Instead, he tells me...
Well, yeah, but his audience is going to be like, oh, well, he's in a lawsuit. He can't do it right now, so it's not really his fault because he's in a lawsuit, right? That's his excuse. But frankly, I just think it's there's just, you know, we're talking about somebody, he's so uninteresting. We're talking about somebody who preaches leftist values. We saw this stuff in like the... with left-leaning values. We saw everything in the Ryan Beard video where he goes on and on and on about all this shit, blah, 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 blah. He pretends to be, you know, an arbiter. Or not even an arbiter. Somebody who would defend different groups of people, like women. And then he can't even, he can't even seem to care enough about consent. It's just ridiculous. It's like one thing after the other. Over and over and over again. He shows his ass. It's like, it's boring at this point. You know, if you want to continuously give him charity, that's fine. It's just, at this point, it's fucking boring. I mean, how many times does this guy fuck up? Like, how many times does he have to make a mistake? How many insane women does he have to have on his stream that he ends up turning into content once there's a fallout? I mean, it's just insane. Over and over and over again. It's just always some bullshit.
He's going to drop the manifesto to end all manifestos. I was not very confident as the evidence against him was already damning. He literally admitted fault. Aaron tells Destiny, you distributed it non-consensually. And Destiny replies, yeah, I know. I have damaged her severely. He tells Pixie, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like case closed.
There's literally zero excuse. But he tries to recontextualize this in our interview.
When I sent that message to Pixie, I was like, I feel fucking horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've psychologically damaged you. Like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to the video. I just feel horrible that something that I was involved in ended up leaking publicly. Like,
yeah, I just don't believe that. That's just a reframing of the narrative. I don't believe anything that he's saying here. So
even if she would have said, like, even if that wouldn't have been sent to anybody, if somebody would have, like, hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing.
So was his
the exact same thing? What?
There's literally actually. And Destiny replies, yeah. I know. I
What?
damaged her severely. He tells
Yeah, it's all a reframing of the narrative.
I do feel horrible. Okay. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to the video. I just feel horrible that something that I was involved in ended up leaking publicly. Like, even if she would have said, like, even if that wouldn't have been sent to anybody, if somebody would have, like, hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing.
So was his manifesto good? Well, it
What?
seems to have persuaded much of his own community.
Why did you do it if you felt horrible? I don't understand. What does that mean?
With many of the top comments praising him. However, when you get down to the meat of the argument he's making, it doesn't change anything. I confront him about doxing, pedo allegations, as well as converse with people from his past. This is the Destiny manifesto. For these DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxed yet?
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. for just going like Queeman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house into it. Bro, I swear to God, if I quit streaming, I'm gonna fucking go on an assassination mission, okay? These people are gonna start disappearing one at a time, okay?
That's why this video is sponsored by Aura. In a topic where people's personal information is being maliciously shared and posted online, it's an important reminder that people like you and me are just as vulnerable. Data brokers have websites where anyone can...
Great plug, Will. Okay.
By
I
anyone
don't know, man. I think I'm gonna struggle with this video. I think that I've kind of gotten to this point when it comes to like anything Destiny. I just have no patience for the constant like, you know, trail of excuses for this guy. It comes off as just like, I don't know. I hope this video doesn't come off the way that I feel like it's gonna come off, which is gonna be almost like an undertone of a defense. It's exhausting. Destiny's just not a good person. He's smart, kind of, and he knows how to debate. It's great. Like, that's awesome, man. He's not somebody who I think has any values. It's every day it's something else. That's all it is. Like, what was the most recent thing? He's like going after Asmongold by like insulting his family or something, or somebody like that. It's just like, okay. Like, great. Like, that's the whole chain of events. He does something provocative for attention. He gets the attention. He tries to capitalize on it. And blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool.
Someone else's personal information for just a few bucks. So it's important that you take the time to protect yourself. I do using Aura. Aura identifies brokers on your behalf and automatically submits opt-out requests that would otherwise be impossible to keep up with on your own. Seriously, just Google your name. You will see your address, phone numbers, family members popping up on all of these white pages websites. But if you give Aura just a bit of your personal information, after a few weeks, all of that will start to be taken down. You'll get less spam emails, less spam calls on your phone. It is genuinely life-changing. And Aura will continuously monitor the dark web and alert you if your personal information was exposed. You won't leave the back door to your house open at night, so why do it online? Plus, they give you up to $5 million of identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. So stop the spam calls and protect yourself online by going to aura.com/WillyMac to start your 14-day free trial. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Destiny's manifesto spends a lot of time clarifying that he is the biggest victim of these leaks.
It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting.
I don't care about him being a victim of anything. I really don't. You're going around like non-consensually sending this shit around. Like, why the fuck would I care about you? Like, oh no, okay. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like, I just don't care. You're a bad person. Like, you had your shit leaked. Like, I would have cared. But I don't, because you're an asshole. That's like, that's a bad thing that happened, that his shit got leaked. So I think it's a little worse that that this person does not give a fuck about anything that he talks about.
While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it, in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation.
Nobody is denying that you are also a victim. Nobody is denying that the hacker is a bad guy. But the only reason there is collateral damage is you. If you didn't non-consensually share these girls' images, there would be nothing for the hacker to leak. I feel like he knows this. He's just trying to mitigate accountability.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Absolutely.
In front of his audience.
Yes, thank you, Willie. I love you so much. Thank you, Willard.
He does provide some background information on the hacker, who goes by the name Solo.
Thank you, Willard. I love you. I like that one. Incredible.
Solo messaged me sometime in the morning and said that he was unhappy with how the coverage of the leaks had been so far.
It's just so annoying because when you look through this stuff again, you know, it's always in fragments, or not in fragments, excuse me. When you look at stuff like this, it's always after a period of time has gone, and all the information is no longer fresh in your mind about how bad of a guy this is. Like, this is somebody who does not care about what he's talking about. Time and time again, he has these, it seems like performative relationships with terrible people that always fall out, and then he makes content with them beforehand, and then he makes content about the fallout, and then all of a sudden, these people were really horrible, crazy, blah, 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 but you were friends with them. And then this time, it's, hey, he was non-consensually sending pictures to different people of other people. And it's like, okay, like how, and he doesn't care. I don't think he cares. It's all a performance piece, it's all optics, and it's all boring. That's it. Like, I really, that's the playbook at this point. That's it.
He felt as though people weren't giving it enough attention, so he was going to leak more from my logs with Rose if I didn't allow him to come on my stream and speak with me. I don't exactly remember what the message was, as I just woken up, read it, and then responded briefly before going back to sleep. The next time I checked my messages with him, everything had been deleted.
Luckily, I have the messages. The messages are Solo demanding Destiny talk to him on stream, or else he's going to leak all the DMs and videos he shared with Rose. He also threatens to release Rose's real age, saying, "You were negligent in verifying her age even after you joked about her looking so young that you would need her ID to make sure she was really even 18. The only other time I heard this allegation of Rose being potentially underage is when I interviewed Kelly Jean.
So he tweeted like a bit over a week ago, that the Rose girl was an OnlyFans girl. She's not. She never had an OnlyFans. She was never on any platform that could have verified her identity.
Why is she known as like a Fansly OnlyFans e-girl?
She sold nudes via Twitter. So it's not that we're trying to say Destiny's a pedophile. It's that we're saying Destiny is reckless.
I'm gonna be real, she does end up doing that. It's very much what she would imply. She'd list all this evidence for why Destiny should have been suspicious that she was underage.
Also, didn't bother to check someone's like age.
Was she actually underage or what? I feel like that's important. What?
Age, right? It's like a...
Should she claim she was underage?
She said she was 19 to him. That is true. But she also said, or 18 or 19. I think she said in messages she was 18 and then turned 19 is.
So like, was she under? I don't understand. Like, what's the claim here? Was she underage? I mean, legally that would be a problem. You know, it doesn't matter if you're ignorant to that, but I don't know. If you're gonna lie about it, I'm not like it's gonna get all worked up. I don't care about this necessarily. Is she actually, or is she just claiming
Most
this?
likely the case. She was also.
This is like one of the problems when somebody does something like actually very wrong. We just start kind of like piling onto the narrative, and then in many instances, it just seems like it hurts the overall conversation because it's like, okay, this guy's a bad person. Oh, but this little thing is a lie. Oh, okay, maybe everything is questionable at this point. That's kind of how people's minds work.
Also saying, she was saying to Destiny, I can't come see you because my parents won't let me. So there was like a lot of like, within these messages, sort of tone indicators.
I mean, I know that inside of Ryan Beater's video, he showed, like, Destiny always talks about how like he's like at the time he's like 30. He's like, yeah, like this, you know, a 19-year-old's basically like a child. It's a very young person. Why are you even talking about that person? And all of a sudden, a couple of years later, that narrative seems to change. It's very strange.
So this is a very young.
Doesn't make him like a pedophile or anything. Just to be clear.
Young person. So when someone says OnlyFans, they're spreading a piece of misinformation in his benefit. Because if she did do OnlyFans, he could say, well, this website, which is known for verifying people's identity and age, says she's 19. Therefore, it's reasonable to think that she's 19. In this case,
I personally feel like that is too convoluted of an argument. And if she lied about her age, I'm probably not going to hold him accountable unless I see evidence that is very obvious that she's lying, or he asked for ID or some shit and she's going no.
So he does do that. He he makes a message saying,
is that in the leak
I'll have to find the exact quotation of when he mentions identity.
Kelly never proves this. She links me to the hacker telling Destiny she was underage, and Destiny replies saying she told him she was of age selling not safe for work material.
When we started talking, she told me she was of age. The solo guy on KB
I guess she was underage. Okay.
Farms says as much. I don't think she's.
Yeah, that is true. He did talk about how he got bikini pics from 15-year-olds, right? In that Ryan Beard video. That doesn't exactly help him. Is that right? Yeah, I think this is it here, right?
A bunch of other esports guys, and we were basically talking about how crazy the fucking jailbait is in the gaming community. It's ridiculous. I think I said something along the lines of like there are 15-year-old chicks that are like hot as fuck that will like try to send you pictures of like fuck you at events and shit, and it's like you have to be really careful when you navigate that.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this. I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me pictures of herself, and she was hot as fuck. And it's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think.
Wait, how old was she?
That's incredible. Beautiful. You know what? That's a great. Incredible. That's wild. Okay. Okay, I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's insane. I feel like, hot take, if I was ever attracted to a 15-year-old, which I would never be, isn't that incredible? I think it's even worse that you would admit it online. You know, yeah, she was hot. Like, you're attracted to a 15-year-old and then you admit it? I don't get it. I guess it's just like an edgy joke. But I feel like he's saying something shocking, maybe even in a joking way, for like plausible deniability. I just feel like that's fucking wild. Like, why would you feel confident enough to even say that? That's fucking insane. But okay.
Underage. I don't think she was ever underage. Well, I mean, except for when she was underage, but before I talked to her.
When navigating Kiwi Farms, the hacker himself would clarify in a later post, to Rose's knowledge, Destiny did not know her real age. And even if he did not make it known to her. I don't believe Destiny is a pedophile. Now, apparently there are
No, I don't think so either. I think he's a disgusting creep.
I was jokingly asking for ID, commenting on how young she looks.
If I go to a club and I f someone underage, it doesn't matter that I ask for their age. If they turn out to be younger, you're still going to get prosecuted the same.
Sure, you might. That's true. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's the exact same. Like, they might actually, like, you know. But we're not having a legal conversation. We're having a moral conversation, right? And so, you know, morally, if you don't know, I'm not gonna hold you necessarily to the same standard because we're having a, you know, moral conversation.
Way, it's like the onus is on you. You can use that as a defense only to a point, especially if there are other reasons to believe this person could be underage, as there is in this case, or at least you are not sure. No, I don't think we can confirm their identity. So Rose's boyfriend says she was 17 at the time, and I don't know if she says she was 18 or 19 at the time of sending things.
I get what you're getting at. I need more before I'm comfortable going that far.
Yeah.
Kelly wasn't able to ever find me this message, so I asked Destiny about it. Did she ever engage with you or like show you like a site where maybe it did check for age verification at any point?
I'm trying to think of how much.
Like at some point.
No, well, the answer is yes. So like, she was like an active user of I think Tinder to find hookups and shit. And Tinder is an 18 or older app.
And Destiny sent me messages he had with Rose and her talking about using Tinder. I haven't used Tinder in like 8 years, so I don't know. Google says.
But a lot of creeps like to act like they don't know what. Yeah, I mean that probably is true. But at the end of the day, you know, we can only speculate so much, and I think it's generally like unfair to speculate to such a degree to be like, you know what, I actually think he knew she was underage, but didn't want to stop it because he, you know, I feel like we're going a little too far with that. You know, that we need a little bit more than I think's. Personally, that's what I think.
As it verifies age, there needs to be more tangible evidence. Right now, the worst case scenario is that she might have lied to him. And that's the end of the good news for Destiny. Like, yes, congrats, you're not a pedophile, but the few extra wins he racks up during his manifesto are just so insignificant. You know, yes, Pixie did ask for a comical amount of money.
Her first demand letter to me was for a total apology and then at least $15 million in compensation.
Crazy.
Fuck that.
Yes, people weaponizing your nudes against you is wrong.
There's now an impossible.
Okay, I'm like, what am I supposed to experience there? That's so much. That's how like the legal system works, and Destiny knows that. So he knows that the way what you do is you go crazy, and then the other person goes crazy, and then you meet at insane. You meet at like normal. So you ask a lot, and then you try to settle the normal. If you start normal, you end up settling for less. So you start with a lot, and then you meet in the middle. That's the whole idea. Destiny knows this. This is all like a framing narrative. That's it.
Position. A revenge point of me was still being blasted across the internet with family members, including my 13-year-old son, being spammed with explicit videos of me, sometimes even by popular social media personalities like Just a Minx. I guess it's because
I feel bad for your son. Not only does he have to look at news of you, but he also doesn't get to see you as much because you decide to live as far away from him as possible. Well, not as far away, just far enough away from him where you don't see him as regularly as you should. You're just a rich deadbeat dad, frankly. Let's be real.
A guy at school. I'm trying to get better, but the image of Destiny sucking that cock is ruining it. Based.
Crazy.
And then this is just very casually, you know, replying to tweets of mine. You know, it's good. Getting some good Twitter engagement here. Not that anybody gives a fuck because she's a girl and I'm a guy, but you know, it's all good.
Sue her. Sue all of them. Hold them accountable. But why would this make me view the Pixie situation any differently? What you're complaining about is what Pixie and everyone else you shared videos of has to go through now too.
Yeah.
You chose to share videos of yourself with an e-girl. They didn't. You made that decision for them. He acts like this is a risk everybody signed up for, which is not true.
For people who are extremely concerned with their privacy or material possibly leaking, I generally just recommend that we don't record anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak.
What he's not acknowledging is the risk was him. I'm seeing Destiny in his DGG chat saying he's not going to sue the hacker anymore. I'm probably not going to push it any farther since it's just bad publicity for me now. And Pixie is forcing us both to waste tens of thousands of dollars fighting each other now. Lol W. So I'm supposed to care about the sob story with Minx and Kiwi Farms hosting his nudes when he doesn't even want to pursue the culprits anymore.
It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire.
Well, the reason he may not want to pursue it anymore is it might just be very expensive and not worth it, and like a very like little yield. That might honestly be the reason why. I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't care. I don't think he's a good person, so I don't care, you know?
Revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation.
You were the primary target, but the collateral damage is because of you. Destiny never acknowledges this. He has the money to do it all. He's mad at Pixie, though, because in her story, he's not the victim. He's the bad guy. Now, Pixie took him to court, and part of when you do that is you don't get an instant public-facing apology. I understand that, but instead of staying quiet, Destiny claims he had implied consent because Pixie sent a video of herself with another guy before.
With that out of the way, conversations guessing as to whether or not any.
Yeah, I remember that. It was stupid. It doesn't mean there's no proof that it wasn't consensual that he sent that. Like that guy might have been fine with it. I don't know. But also, she's a child. She's a legal adult. Let's be real. Okay, I'm not trying to, but you're 30 something years old. You know better. So the fact that somebody else did this illegal thing. So somebody like twice her age, I also did it because that's just fair. And what are you going to do? Stick your tongue out and say nanny, nanny, boo, boo next? Like, wow, that's really cool, man. How old are you? I don't give a fuck. I don't care about her. She's not the story. She's not the famous individual who constantly talks about like fucking progressive values. You are. That's what you are. I don't give a fuck.
The leaked materials consensually shared was a hot topic of discussion following the initial leaks. Pixie would send messages to people to tell them that she had never sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her, and I was the first person she ever recorded material with. I know that she's messaged people with stuff like this.
To me, her lying about the nature of their sexting would only make her a hypocrite. It doesn't make sharing other people's nudes without their consent okay. He doesn't even know if she didn't have consent.
Pixie was comfortable sending me videos of her and other identifiable men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones.
Oh, shit.
The videos of some guy, I can send you later if you're interested. Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them. At no point in any of these conversations did Pixie ever mention having explicit consent from any of these other men to share these videos with me. I have no way of contacting them today to find out if she did. All this to say, consent was being reasonably understood by both sides of this situation.
What do you mean? How? He's assuming that she didn't have permission from this guy when he has no reason to believe that. And in what world does this give him consent to share her nudes? This makes no sense. This was the manifestos to end all manifestos. And it's literally debunked by his own logic in our interview. One of the leaks on Kiwi Farms was a blowjob recording that happened with a guy he met on Grindr. And the recording allegedly starts before he walks into the guy's apartment. And if you read the DM of Destiny sharing the video to Rose, he says, "This is just the end. Again, audio scuffed because my phone was in my pocket," implying that the video was secretly recorded. Here is Destiny's defense.
Well, why would he have it in his pocket and not record the thing with the video? It must be because he's not letting the person know. He's secretly recording them.
Yeah, sure. So let me preface this by saying the only reason that recording that you're talking about is leaked is because I think all the girls that started messaging afterwards were like, "Oh my God, this might be non-consensual, blah, blah, blah." I think that group of people started leaking shit to Kiwi Farms of hookups that nobody is alleging anything wrong has happened. So it's very fucking annoying. And that what you're talking about, like literally audio, that entire thing is now just public for no reason. So that is revenge porn of me posted that everybody's just spreading because it's fucking epic and hilarious, okay?
So basically the question is like, hey, how come it seems like this video was recorded without the guy's consent? Oh, well, people leaked it. That's not good. That's a real honest answer to a different question. Cool stuff, man.
Makes sense to me. If the guy involved isn't claiming wrongdoing at this point, who cares? It's irrelevant.
That being said, generally with guys on Grindr, there are guys that I've spoken with, and some people are like, "Hey, are you happy? Or are you comfortable recording stuff? Do you want to do video?" Most guys aren't comfortable with video. A couple have been, obviously, hence my fucking leaks. Some guys are like, "Okay, cool. You know, like audio is fine. I don't care as long as you can't identify." That's why I don't even know how many of my things have been leaked at this point. But like, it's pretty obvious the guy can like see my phone, or he said like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." I think for that particular one, now, I think this recording was like 5 years or 4 years ago, so I don't remember. But for this particular guy, he had said, "Listen, if you want to record audio, that's fine, but like, don't pull your phone out. I don't want to see it. I'm like really paranoid about my face getting recorded." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll just probably start it before I come to the apartment." He's like, "That's fine. Just like don't pull your phone out because that would like it's like he's just like paranoid about like me recording his face." I was like, "Okay." That was the hookup story for that dude. But it's really gay to talk about this because, well, one, it's actually gay, but then two, also nobody's alleging like any wrongdoing for any of these hookups. So it's like really weird that because other people are literally leaking and spreading revenge for me, and then they're having me like describe like this fucking hookup works, so I know it's consensually. Nobody's even making an allegation of this. Like I don't know if this is going to turn into like every single like I don't know if people are going to start leaking every single video I've ever recorded, and they're like, "I need you to explain to me like what was the nature of it?" It's like nobody's making an allegation about this. Why the fuck are you talking about all my hookups? It's cringe and gross and weird. But that's my I mean that's for that. Yeah.
If he's not complaining about it, then how do we know?
Nobody else. Yeah. Nobody else. Yeah. Yes.
But
Oh, maybe that's all true. Doubt it. I can't trust this guy. Like I don't this is why I really just don't bother caring about this guy anymore. I don't know. I guess that could be true. I suppose. I just don't have any charity left for him. So
that same logic entirely debunks Destiny's implied consent defense for Pixie, because that guy's not out here complaining. In fact, Pixie claims she had consent from him, actual consent, to send those videos. She writes, "This is false. This guy was my ex who consented to sharing. I was not recording random one-night stands." I'll be real, the DM she links don't really prove anything, but then a guy named Tom asks, "The question is whether or not you had consent to share the videos." She clarifies, "I had consent. I believe the courts will exonerate me." So Destiny's entire defense of calling Pixie a hypocrite is debunked by his own logic. It comes off as incredibly desperate. She says, "Destiny, you are now using..."
I will say, you know what? I was so far I was wrong about WillyMac running too much charity for this guy. Just to be clear, he was starting off good. My worries were invalid. Okay.
"Intimate details of my life against me. I need you to stop. You've already shared some of my most intimate moments for the world to see. Why are you forcing me to share more?" Another defense Destiny alludes to in his response is that he was part of the scandalous videos, therefore that makes it okay to share. In a way, Pixie is kind of like the perfect victim.
It seems like she shared nudes with you. You shared them with a third party. That party got hacked. It all leaks.
Wait, I want to clarify a couple things. Hold on, just real quick. I never sent nudes that somebody sent me to somebody else. I've never done that before. It's really weird. I've only ever sent videos that I'm in. Now, sometimes those videos are with other people, but like in terms of me sending anything to another person, it's like it's because I'm in it, not because somebody else is in it. Just to be super clear on that.
Oh, that means nothing to me. You're still sending them without the other person that was in the video knowing. Well, allegedly, I suppose. Okay.
To some people, that doesn't matter. For other people, that's like a really big point. Because when that post was written for Pixie, it was written like he wanted to show my body off and blah, blah, blah. That's not true at all. She's not even naked in that video.
That doesn't make any difference to me. He violated the person's trust in sharing the intimate video in the first place. Him being part of it or not changes nothing. It seems like the only reason he would bring this up is if he felt like there was some sort of legal distinction.
No, the reason that he would bring this up is because he's trying to do an optics play to recapture his audience. I think that Destiny's surprised at like how many people were like, "Oh, this is actually the last straw," and kind of gross. Like, I think he's surprised that this even had a negative impact on his career. I'm not saying he's fallen off completely. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. But I think more people are upset about this than he thought. He thought, I mean, like, you know, his views are obviously better than mine, but, like, they're nowhere near what they used to be. Like, he's kind of hitting that, like, this did really well, but generally speaking, he's kind of sitting lower than he was before. His live stream audience is probably pretty big still. Because those are the more, yeah, it's like 11,000. Those are the more devout followers. But like the video watchers seem to be a little bit low. I just think that like the more casual people, or maybe the people who watch videos more than his lives, have been like, I don't like this guy.
Anything that's related, like
I'm
specifically
going to
to any
ask
of
the
the
question,
causes of action.
and then you say if it can be allowed in the video or not. Because if not, I'm not trying to fuck anybody. Okay?
Oh.
You very much clarified you're part of these videos too. Guess what I'm wondering is, does that make a legal distinction? Is that why you clarified that?
There's two parts that are really important that I'm okay comfortable talking about. So for one part of legal distinction here, and this is annoying because it applies legally and it applies morally, I think, and I guess it applies to the PR angle too. Like, I have never ever in my life like tried to like shit on somebody by like sharing like a revenge porn thing of them.
You're talking about like the maliciousness of it, right?
Yeah, because some people are saying like, oh, I was trying to like.
Is anybody even making that argument? I feel like he's just making this argument up to make him seem like a good guy. What?
Humiliate, you know, like you're trying to humiliate. Like, no, I've never in my life have I done that. I would never do. Well, I mean, there was 14 years ago with the one blue tea girl. That was shitty behavior of me for sure.
Blue tea was somebody that Destiny sexted and then shared their nudes with his buddies. At least according to Ryan Beard's video, an old forum post I could find online.
Just thought it would.
I love this. This is like, I've never done this thing. Oh, except for the one that that Ryan Beard caught me on. That one I'm gonna have to admit to. Oh, I wonder why you're admitting to it. Is it because you're a good guy, or because you feel like you have to? Because you kind of got caught with your pants down on that one. Incredible. I don't know.
It'd be funny to share this woman's private nudes with his friends and joke about how f***ing hideous her face is compared to her beautiful body. And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's private nudes without consent for the purpose of degrading her. In response, Blue Tea hacked Destiny's Twitter and tweeted out pictures of his dick.
She didn't deserve any of that. That was me being a retard or whatever. Like, I agree
Whoa,
with that.
bad words,
like,
dude.
I've never in my life, like, I've never like sending videos or pictures and like, oh yeah, this is gonna humiliate this person. Huh? Like, that's just insane. Okay, that claim is insane. Nothing that's leaked from my logs implies that. I've never had a conversation leaked that implies that I would ever do that to somebody. Like, that's just wild. Yeah.
Just to be clear, these, because I have not seen the videos. Just to be clear, there is videos of Pixies that were leaked. She was not aware that you shared these with Rose.
I can't speak to that. I will clarify one thing.
Fair enough.
It's video. It's one singular video.
The Blue Tea drama happened in 2012, and if he was caught sharing nudes then, and he was caught sharing nudes now, that means he was probably sharing nudes in all the years in between. In fact, right after the Pixie drama blew up in January, DMs from a girl named Hannah leaked showing Destiny seemingly still trying to share nudes, saying, oof, I guess now that some stuff is leaked. LMAO, if you want videos of me eating, I got them. She laughs and then says, haha, no, don't show me that. Those are super.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
In January, DMs from a that means he was probably sharing nudes in all the years in between. In fact, right after the Pixie drama blew up in January, DMs from a girl named Hannah leaked showing Destiny seemingly still trying to share nudes, saying, oof, I guess now that some stuff is leaked. LMAO, if you want videos of me eating, I got them. She
Wow, that's very remorseful. Incredible. Okay.
laughs.
I guess at that point he didn't think it was that serious because he wasn't getting hit with a lawsuit yet. So okay.
And then says, haha, no, don't show me that. Those are super private. I can't imagine how it feels having something so private be public, even if you were poly. Now, this is crazy because behind the scenes, Pixie is saying he ruined her life and is posting her suicide note to him less than a month earlier. And if he was still
never mind. The charity's gone. He knew the whole time. So he said, is this true?
doing this, that is psychotic behavior. Now, Destiny would claim that this was all just edgy jokes that took place when they were flirting. He deleted.
So he actually said that. Okay. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe somebody like lied about him saying that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's Photoshop. No, it's real. It's real, guys. It's all real.
His DM, so it's hard to understand the full context.
This is like half on the record, off the record. I don't give a fuck. Figure out what you want to put on. Okay,
well,
here's
hold on.
a lot of dark humor. Okay, I've made jokes about a lot of things that people come back and try to make me sound like a sociopath. Like me and my kid's mom used to be physically abusive towards each other. And some people will link clips of me talking about it 10 years ago. He said he used to choke out his ex. Even if he went down to hold her to stop throwing shit instead of hitting her, I'm almost 100% sure everyone would be saying the same shit. He had to leave her. He was going, yeah, of course. Dude, I wish I would have filmed my shit with Rachel. I wouldn't have any fucking fans in it because you guys would probably think I'm a fucking abuser too. Guaranteed. Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times. That got crazy. Hey.
Oh, it's such edgy jokes.
hell yeah, dude. And I guarantee you that everybody here will probably think I'm a fucking crazy physical abuser too, sure. And I'm like, I'm joking when I say this.
Yeah, like, I think so. I think that the reality is that Destiny is a very feminine looking person. And so when he engages in like abusive behavior, people will write it off as like, oh, well, he's just kind of, you know, a little scrawny guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not very threatening. It's not going to be seen as crazy as if like somebody like me was being physically abusive. And so I think he just hides behind the fact that he looks like so fucking, like, I'm not even like sitting here like, oh, he's gay, he looks like shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, I think that that's a level of truth to that, where he's kind of like this mousy looking guy who gets away with being a fucking creep because, oh, well, I don't know who could interpret me as a threat. And I think that that's part of it, honestly.
Shit. Or people say like, oh, Destiny's happy that his best friend committed suicide when he was 20 because he jokes about it. It's like, I do joke about it. I joke about a lot of crazy shit. I joke about Rexful killing himself. There's also sad about it. So me and Hannah had been chatting maybe for on and off for like a year, had never been sexual ever, not even remotely sexual and anything ever. And then as of like, you have the dates on the messages. Was it like 2 months ago or 3 months ago?
It was, yeah.
I think she makes a joke with about Merck. Oh, and she deleted all those messages. Very clever. But she makes a joke about Merck and she's like, oh my God, I just saw you with that crazy girl Merck arguing with her. And then she's like, just so you know, I would never ever out any of your advances, LOL. And so when I see him, I'm like, oh, that's a green light to flirt, I guess. And then I think our next conversation starts getting more flirty. And then she makes a reference to something about like videos or like, oh, like, or something sexual or whatever. And I think I make the joke and I'm like, hey, listen, I feel like for videos of me, they're still up on Kiwi Farms, LOL, which is true. But like, that was the extent of my message.
I can't prove anybody right or wrong here because they both deleted messages. And to be fair to him, he didn't send anything. But if she said yes to the offer, would he have? That's up to you to decide.
Would never, I don't want to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's just very convenient that Destiny gets to say, oh, it was just an edgy joke. And then what are we supposed to roll past it? How many edgy jokes are we supposed to be like, oh, okay. Like, how many times can you use that excuse? Find it ridiculous.
Drag any of these people, okay? But I will say, like, I don't want to do any, I'm not going to do anything, okay? But like, there are so many girls that send me messages. I'm not even sure, but like, there's so many girls that send me messages like this when everything was leaking, okay?
Hold on, you just sent me something? Let me take a look. Would find the leaked videos if I'm sure if I looked, you know, for science. Damn, so you're still getting fucking hit up. Even after you've been labeled an abusive piece of shit, they're still trying to get
What does that matter? Who the fuck cares? Why do I care about this? What does it matter if like weird, annoying girls are trying to hit you up in this moment? What does this mean? Why does this have anything to do with anything? I don't understand.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just to give more context, like the environment is like everybody back here, not everybody, but like there's a lot of corny people. They say shit like this, whatever. It's whatever to me. Mm-hmm. But like if a message of mine got leaked like that, or I guess like that Hannah girl tried to, and it even showed up in Pixie's complaint, he's still offering women. It's like, no, bro, people are hitting me up and they're like flirting with me or whatever. And I'm like, hey, listen, my shirts are Kiwi Farms, LOL. Like that's not like a sincere offer to send anything. And like my shit is still publicly hosted. So what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, yeah, but it's retarded. Like people take it way too seriously. Like, well, just as a quick example for that Hannah girl, right? This is a person I talked to for a year, no problems whatsoever. After she sends me that message, I find out like 2 days later she's also in Jessica's server, and then she starts spamming my DMs with her.
Everything's a conspiracy, guys. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's a joke. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything. There's always an optics play. Thank God Destiny's had so much time to try to figure out a way that he feels like he can explain this. You know, however many months later, right?
So that's sort of like, well, after deleting some of hers, I'm like, what the fuck? Am I getting like set up by these like random women that I've never had a problem with in my entire life?
Now, I don't know why any woman would trust Destiny enough to try and hook up with them still after all this, but that is happening. Now, Destiny deleting DMs is interesting because Pixie's legal team has cited him doing this as a way to try and cover up evidence. On January 21st, 2025, aware of the impending lawsuit and potential criminal investigation, Bonnell starts destroying evidence, including deleting messages between him and the plaintiff. Is this something you have done to try and hide or cover up anything?
What can I say publicly about this? This is what I'll say, okay? I have a right to delete any message that I want, ever, okay? Number one.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you're deleting messages to hide evidence. Great.
Number two, if somebody wants to talk about records for a...
I don't know if that's actually true. I think that... All right, so just to be clear, I'm pretty sure, no, deleting messages or other evidence while a lawsuit is ongoing or when you should reasonably expect one can be a serious issue and lead to penalties because you have a legal duty to preserve relevant evidence and destroying it can be seen as... yeah, okay, gotcha. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Good job, buddy. We do a little bit of trolling here.
Court case. So, for instance, typically when you file a civil suit against somebody, you'll send them like a request for a preservation of evidence. That doesn't mean...
That's weird because I just paused the video to take a piss, and I feel like if you're watching the video, the tone shift was probably very bizarre for you, so I'm sorry.
I can't delete my message on Discord. It just means that I need to make a backup or an archive of anything that I have deleted on Discord that's not available to other people to make sure I have my own records there so that I can send that if a request is made in Discovery. I comply 100% with any preservation.
Gotcha. So he's deleting information. Dude, this is just ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here. This is just dumb. Fuck. Goddamn.
Applied 100% with any preservation of evidence request that's been made to me. 100%. So
did Sunday's
that, like,
video provoke you into deleting more messages?
It was either that or before. Yeah, when people started to like taste like shit for me around, I started. No, actually, it was I think in December. I think I started running a redact across my whole fucking account. It took like a month or whatever to finish, but I like basically every message I sent before January 1st, I wiped from every fucking message because I was like, I don't know. Because my main concern, it wasn't actually even related to like Pixie or anything else, but my main concern was one thing that I didn't think about, that I have to think about. When people interpreted this, I guess if you want, this could be on the record. I don't care. No, like this.
Everything you said so far regarding this, I'm assuming is on the record. Right.
Okay. When I sent that message to Pixie, I was like, I feel horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm psychologically damaged. You're like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to send the video. I just feel horrible that something that I was involved in ended up leaking publicly.
So he's saying he preserved the deleted DMs
Okay.
for the court case only, but he's also recontextualizing DMs of him admitting fault. If you remember, Destiny replied to Nick, I didn't admit to anything. Nick would reply with DMs of Destiny saying, yeah, I know, I have damaged her severely, seemingly acknowledging that he's the one responsible. He's now saying that this is not the case.
Like, even if she would have said, like, hey,
Yes, this is the legal argument. Also, I don't think he ever meant it when he first said it, to be clear. I think he was just saying that because he was trying to say whatever he needed to say to her to placate her. He's trying to say, like, oh, I felt really bad, so I sent her this message saying that, like, oh, this is my fault. But I didn't actually, like, but I was just because I'm an emotional guy, and I was just like, oh, man, that, like, really sucks, and, like, I feel bad for you. But, like, realistically speaking, I think it's more likely that he said it because he was just trying to say whatever he felt like he needed to say to her, because he wanted to just calm her down so it didn't turn into something. That's what I think more than anything else. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see that type of. I don't think he cares. He got caught in a fucking lie. Give me a break.
Even if that wouldn't have been sent to anybody, if somebody would have like hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing. Holy, I feel so horrible. I'm so sorry. This is like terrible. Like, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this at all. Like, this is really bad. I'm so sorry. Like,
so sorry.
It has nothing to do with whether or not I sent it consensually. It just has to do with the fact that because of like whatever my actions or whatever. At some point, like shit got leaked.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, bud?
That being said, oh god. Well, I was gonna say, that being said, one thing that I just, and maybe it's just me being stupid, but one thing I never considered before was, regardless of if I'm vetting people appropriately or not for setting material, I never considered what if somebody else gets on somebody else's account. So after stuff started leaking like in November or like I think in early December, I started to run a redact on everything because now I'm thinking, well, fuck, what if like a boyfriend, a sister, a father, what if somebody dies and like a friend gets a hold of their account and they log in and they see a bunch of explicit material? I'm just gonna fucking wipe all my combos and everything because I don't want to risk like other people's shit leaking or my shit leaking as a result of that.
Wow. What this guy is, he thinks he's so smart. He just justified the deletion of these messages by saying, oh, after things were leaked, it made me realize what happens if somebody I'm messaging with that's completely okay, consensual, blah, blah, blah. What happens if they die and their dad goes on the account? Oh yeah, so it's good to delete them because I don't want that to be leaked. I'm a good guy. I think 10 steps ahead. Okay. Give me a fucking break. That's the most high school debate bro response I've ever seen in my entire life. Give me a fucking break.
Did you delete anything in an attempt to hide stuff for the court case?
It's ridiculous. As if you would have never have thought of that before anyway. Jesus
No, I have
Christ.
digital copies of everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like Redact literally has an auto archive thing, and Discord allows you to archive all of your conversations before doing anything. So I complied with every court request that I've gotten. Yeah, the fuck.
I feel like I've asked this before, but if you can't be on the record, fair enough too.
Sure.
But I just want to reiterate since we brought it up again. Did Pixie ever know you were sharing stuff with Rose? That involved her. It's both of you, I understand, but that involved her as well.
For claims that are like, these are like the hyper-specific claims that this court case is going to deal with, I can't, on advice of counsel, I can't talk about those things in particular.
Okay, fair enough then.
I will say that when we recorded stuff, I was either married to or I was engaged with Melina at the time. And so, I mean, at the very least, like that's one person that I'd be sharing stuff with that she would know, obviously, right? But
what is he on about?
What is he talking about?
Already said it. He's taking responsibility.
Wait a minute. Is he saying that because he was married to Melina, if he did happen to say anything to her, it's okay because he was married to her? I mean, I don't even know how to parse through that answer. Like, that's fucking what? Oh, okay. I don't think this is about you potentially sending stuff to your wife. I think it's probably about sending stuff to randoms on the fucking internet just so you can get some fucking pussy points there, buddy. What the fuck is he talking about?
Responsibility without taking responsibility. It's hilarious. If you're still defending Destiny over this Pixie stuff, why?
Like, this is really bad. I'm so sorry. Like, it has nothing to do with whether or not I get sent consensually. It just has to do with the fact that because of like whatever my actions or whatever, like at some point, like shit got leaked.
I find it absurd that he's apologizing not for sharing the videos non-consensually, but for the hacker leaking them. Bro, the girls didn't want him shared in the first place. I can't get into it in the interview because he wanted all of that off the record. But it all comes back to this implied consent argument, which we've already determined is ridiculous. Now, I don't know what the result of their court case will be. If what he did was illegal, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know. But I do know that what he did was wrong, and that should be obvious to everyone.
I don't wanna set the world on fire.
The biggest video to come out on Destiny was the content nuke by Ryan Beard. Now, I'm going to touch on the pattern of abuse he builds up in it. At some point, if you date enough girls that are crazy, at some point do you feel like you are the only consistent factor there?
Fuck.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, there's a lot of things about my life that's like super atypical that would draw those types of people and would induce that type of behavior as well.
So then why don't you stay away from those types of people? You have control over who you decide to talk to. It doesn't make any sense. It's a pattern of just like degenerate behavior, talking to like unstable women, not giving a fuck about people around you. Okay, I don't know what's this argument. Well, but great stuff.
The issue with the video, like Ryan Beard's, it's Ryan Beard, right?
Have you?
It's Ryan. Oh, it's Ryan Beard, right? You know who it is, Destiny. You coward. Oh, it's Ryan Beard, right?
Watched it before we comment on it.
I watched it because I thought about like, do I want to do like a long-term response and go through like every single claim? The problem is that like one, you're working with a full like 15 years of me having one of the most public lives on the internet. So basically anything I've been involved in is going to be out there for better or for worse, sometimes in the worst light possible. That being said, like, I mean, there are things that I've done that are just like legitimately bad. Like I shouldn't have done them. Like the Mia Rose stuff, that was bad. Like I admit that.
The Mia Rose drama was in 2011. Destiny got drunk on stream and sexually assaulted Mia.
If I was a real friend, I would make you. Okay, go. Oh my god.
Listen, I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah,
to you.
say sorry.
So much
Get the
tomorrow.
Like there was a time when I got like, it was probably one of the people say I'm like making justifications, but I'm not. Like it was bad. But I got like super wasted for like the first time in my life on a stream. I think when I was like 22, and I was like grabbing me Rose's boobs when we were streaming or whatever. We were doing a vacation thing in like Utah. It was bad, but I mean like I've talked to her since. Like I've apologized. I mean there's nothing else I can do. It's always like strange to me when people like Ryan will make videos and say like he needs to take accountability, and it's like this happened 13 years ago.
It's so strange. It's not just about that one isolated clip. Destiny wants it to be about that one isolated clip, but it's about a pattern of behavior. What are you talking about?
Oh, like I've apologized. I don't know what else you want me to say. It's not like I don't think it's good behavior. I just thought people were bad. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
And Mia, as recently as 2022, has corroborated this, saying, at the end of the day, he assaulted me, he apologized, and we left it alone. And the point of Ryan doing this was to show that Destiny has always treated women poorly. His best.
Yes, it's not about that specific claim. It's about a pattern of behavior that Destiny engages in. Like, obviously, this has nothing to do with what this one person has fucking forgiven him for this. It's about the fact that this is not something new for him doing. Him just, like, not respecting women's boundaries and always having an excuse for it. That's all it is.
Best example that he brought up was Anna of War. Anna was somebody who hooked up with Destiny, and then they'd get into a fight, she'd cry on stream.
Steven, you lied. You lied and like you misrepresented so many things, Steven, and you know you did this. I mean, you've apologized to me in private, but you won't do it publicly. And
hold on. Stop trying to act like it's so much of a.
You're very irresponsible. It is, Steven. Don't pull this.
Dude, what the fuck? What is happening here? Why is there Snapchat filters? I don't understand.
He would label her as a stalker, like he can't get away from her.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If anybody else here has advice, hold on.
Hold on, Steven.
I mean, obviously,
are you saying you're being held hostage?
Yeah, John, I'm being lost by an undefeatable opponent, right? You understand? She has nothing to lose. She can carry this out for the rest of her life, and there's nothing I can do about it.
But then in the meantime, he'd be sexting her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked. Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max.
Okay, so
you're telling me that there's this girl that's falsely accusing you and actually stalking you, and she's crazy and blah blah blah, but you continue to talk to her? Does that make any fucking sense to anybody? Like, it seems like you're just inviting. I don't just what the fuck? This guy's a loser. Holy shit.
You acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off. Sure. Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said
she's stalking her? She's stalking me. By the way, we're still sexting because I'm engaging with her.
Anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine. I've said that over.
The last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago or 16 days ago or something, you said that she locked you in the basement of her mind and it was a traumatic experience for you.
Locked me in the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max. Why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now?
It's just such a very interesting thing that Destiny does. He associates with some of the worst piles of dog shit, and then when they confront him, he's like, everybody's like, well, this person is a bad person, so like they're probably not super credible anyway. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much what it seems to be. Well, oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
Now, can you tell me, or do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
And after seeing this, it makes me feel terrible for Anna, who was crying about this very thing for years.
I've told you multiple times, if you don't want to be friends with me, then stop. But like, you don't do that. I've told you multiple times. Stop this narrative, Steven, of like, oh, stalker and stuff. You're the one f***ing calling me princess.
Oh my goodness, thank you for the raid, Terry. Very kind of you.
Is that, huh?
Very kind of you. Hello.
Number 2, I'm pretty sure.
Hello, Terry. Welcome, welcome.
It was like a
This panel is insane. Everyone's here to just suck up clout from this poor girl's mental breakdown. Now, Destiny claims the reality of this situation was different.
It's one of those things where, like, when you dive into the details, it becomes a lot kind of more murky and dumb. So, like, I think that the Anne of War story is
Hey, when you get the context of all this stuff, it's actually like not even a big deal. Don't even worry about it, Willard. Don't even like report on it. Actually, it's no biggie, dude. No biggie, doggy boy.
interesting to look at. Like, people will make claims like, oh, like he was sexting her and then he was calling her crazy at the same time. People will compress time spans of like months into single days, where it'll be like, yeah, we might have had like a sexual conversation like in November, and then in like December she is like tweeting or streaming about me again on something.
That's not normal. It's not normal to have somebody you claim to be a stalker and then continuously sext them. That's just not a normal behavior. It makes no sense to do. If this person was such a threat, why are you talking to them? It makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
And I could be like unhinged, like, Jesus, this person's like unhinged, I don't know what to do. And we went back and forth like that, probably for, I don't know, man, maybe a year or something. Well, I don't know. Here, this is my take on this. Okay, so if you want to switch it after, maybe I guess, but like, this is my thing. Anne of War was like 30 years old maybe, and I think I was 32 or 33. Like, we're both adults. Like, when people start applying terms like gaslight and crazy making and abuser, like, I think she had really unhinged behavior. She admits that she has OCD. She got medicated for it. It was better. Maybe there was like better ways that I could have handled the situation for sure. Like, I think especially in retrospect, even prospectively, maybe there are better things I could have done. But it's like, dude, it's two adults. The worst thing that ever happened here was, I don't even know what the worst thing is. I guess like she became like obsessively streaming about me, and then I said she was crazy online. Like, that's it. I don't know how people have found a way to make this like one of the most abusive situations in the universe. It's like retarded to me.
You're calling her a stalker at the same time you're sexting her. I don't know if I want to say abusive, but you can see the
She's a stalker that you're you're sexting. That doesn't make any sense. It's just so stupid. It's ridiculous. The fact that it's just ridiculous that people would even fall for this nonsense.
Emotional confusion.
I understand what I'm going to say, but like, this is, and I'm so sorry. Like, I've been so gentle with all these online communities, but all of us are adults. We're 30+ years old. Okay, turn off the computer. Like, I think this is so unbelievably overblown. Like, if you don't want to talk to me or if you don't do anything to me, then just stop broadcasting about me, stop talking about me constantly. Like, that's
I see what it is. Okay, basically, this guy's an actual fucking degenerate piece of shit, but we're all the problem for being like, hey, this is really abnormal that you claim this person's a stalker, that you apparently in privates actually say it was a lie, and you continue to message them in a very flirtatious manner. But we're crazy for being like, obviously there's something you're not telling us here. Okay.
So I interviewed Anna, and she claims that he was sexting her and sending her mixed messages recently after she crashes out on stream.
Yeah, our fighting has honestly been like so on and off. Like, it's been so.
Why do you guys keep fucking sexting in between fighting each other? What is with that whole thing?
You know, it's really weird. I know it was very toxic.
So was there anything abusive going on there?
So I used to say that I considered his behavior against me to be abusive. Now I'm not really so sure I would call it abusive. I felt like it was. I definitely felt like it was. At the time, it felt very abusive to me. I would say that he definitely mistreated me, but I don't know if I would go as far as to call it abuse anymore.
I don't know what I'd call it, but it's obviously very bizarre behavior.
Is there times where you guys were sexting and it was cool as he's talking just mad shit?
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure there were. I mean, definitely, I am pretty freaking sure that he still called me crazy and stuff when we were sexting. I'm pretty sure he would still be on stream because like we argued about, because wait a minute, hold on, we argued about it. It's all like coming back to me now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're going back like what, 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we would have, because like we had fights about this, like, and him being like, oh, well, you know, oh yeah, this one. Okay, wait, I'll send you one. Like him saying like he can't publicly defend me because he thinks it'll bring more drama or whatever. And
she sent me DMs of Destiny.
What are you, iDubbbz? That's great. That's incredible.
Saying, it's just me being defensive, referring to when he calls her a psycho stalker. Here's Destiny saying, yeah, well, I can't publicly defend you because then it's obvious we're talking again. If I get defensive, that's the assumption people will
What's the issue of you guys talk? I don't understand. Why does it need to be hidden? What?
make. So I have to act like I don't know why you're in chat. So he was just totally fine with people thinking she was crazy as he's romantically involved with her. That would drive anyone insane.
Because it's obvious we're talking again. So he didn't want people to know that you guys were talking. But this is all the way in 2021. Did this go on for like 2 years?
Kind of.
This
Did you play Judge Judy?
On and off for 2 years?
Yeah, kind of.
Holy shit.
It's very much.
I mean, this woman's obviously like an idiot for even like continuously talking to him as well, just to be clear. But like, I mean, they're I just don't understand. There's just this constant fucking pattern. What the fuck?
Much like a toxic relationship kind of thing.
It definitely was. It definitely. Except you guys weren't. Did you guys live in the same state, or was it all over online?
It was all online, pretty much. I mean, he came to visit me,
Dude,
but
you guys are full on Zoomers, dude. You guys were Discord sexting before it was even a thing.
I know, basically.
When she went to leak her sex chat to prove that this was happening, Destiny would then threaten his DGG chat to leak her nudes. Tell Anna if she leaks my sexting, I might have some pics to share.
But I genuinely was kind of scared of him, and when he blocked me, I was really scared that he was gonna like leak my things.
What was the reasoning behind that?
It was because I was threatening to leak his sex because I was saying
Well, yeah, but the reason was because he kept saying that they weren't involved, right? Like that was the context of that situation.
What is going on over there, man? What are you guys all doing? What are you guys all doing over there? How is there always some shit?
Yeah, I know. So the reason why I was saying, like, you know, I'm gonna have to like leak our sexting if you don't stop saying that I'm stalking you, because we literally have been like,
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for her to be like, hey, he's still like talking to me romantically while claiming that I'm stalking him. Like, it makes sense that she would leak that. Like, that makes perfect fucking sense for her to do.
like sexting, and like you're saying I'm a stalker, and people are like harassing the shit out of me and like doxing me, and like, you know, so that's basically what the context was. And that I was saying, like, you know,
Yeah, it makes sense. And he's just gonna escalate because he's trying to bully her, because he knows his audience is bigger and that it'll have more of an impact on her. And he knows that people look at it that women are like worse when their nudes are leaked. That's exactly what he's doing. Like, that's what he does. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily what he does. You know, I'm not trying to fucking legally insinuate something, but he seems to have this fucking pattern of being a piece of dog shit. So,
I mean, I'm not going to leak much, but I feel like I might have to leak some of our sexting or something to show people that like I'm not stalking
To defend
you.
yourself is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
The stuff Destiny was telling me of, oh, she just needs to be an adult and break it off, that sounds great on paper, and Anna to some degree acknowledges that. But you're also leading around while defaming her to thousands of people.
Call the situation like that I'm some manipulative, evil, abusive person. Maybe you could say I should have treated her like an actual child and said, no, don't do this anymore, and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I mean, fuck. Like, these are...
You're claiming this person is stalking you, and you're fucking still talking to them. It makes no sense whatsoever.
all adults, and the worst thing that's happening is like people cheating on each other online. Like, this is retarded, I think. The only reason why people are trying to do this like Anna Voir situation where it is because they have this idea in mind of like, I'm like trying to lead her on privately in these crazy ways, and I'm like publicly lambasting her at the same time, and I'm playing this, I think Lav and Mr. Girl coined this concept of like, I get
That seems to be what's happening, yes.
off on this sadistic abuse of women or whatever.
Yeah,
but like, that's not it. It's like,
I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know.
yeah, but it's like, if you like, there's like tons of relationships, friendships, like friends with benefits.
You know, a fat guy would know the most about food, so two fucking crazy people would know the most about crazy abusive people would know the most about another crazy abusive person, no?
Whatever situationships where like people kind of like yo-yo back and forth at the end, like they shit on each other, they get back together, shit, whatever. It's like, it happens. It's not.
No, it doesn't. I've never called somebody a stalker and then been like, let me go hang out with them again. That's not normal at all.
Who cares?
That's literally like the fact that he's trying to downplay this either shows he's incredibly manipulative or he has a very warped interpretation of what a relationship is supposed to be, or it's both, which is probably both. Okay.
Like, none of this is that big of a deal. It's all like fucking retarded. Like, this is stupid. Like, I don't know. It's just dumb. And then people will say like that thing of like, you're sexing and calling her like an abuser at the same time. Like, not really. There's like weeks plus between these events, because for like a whole like 6-month period, there was a time where like me and Anna were like friendly, and then she would go public, and then she'd go on her stream and she'd be like, I think that Steven is lying about me. And then we'd talk a little bit, then we'd be friendly again. And then after like a few weeks, she'd be like, I think Steven lied about me. And it's just like, but it's her getting triggered by things in chat like over and over and over again. And people knew they could trigger her, so they would keep doing it. And then like, we did that pattern for like 6 to 12 months. It was fucking retarded.
But if she's
But
crying and at the same time you're sexting her.
And why are you continuously sexting her if this is a problem that keeps happening?
I don't know if that ever happened at the same time. What do you mean by same time? These are like weeks. These incidences are happening like weeks apart.
I don't.
What? It just doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm getting caught up a bit in this interview. Whether it's days or weeks doesn't matter. He's sexting her, telling her to deal with the slander, and then when she goes to post proof, he's threatening her with her nudes. Some of the time periods between them sexting and fighting was only 2 days. Anna wouldn't call the relationship abusive in her interview. She says that it was toxic and that Destiny was right in the sense that she couldn't just move on. I love when people can self-reflect and take blame. Destiny doesn't do that with Anna. It seems like Destiny has a lot of scorned lovers that he then labels as crazy, but when talking to people outside of Anna, it just comes off as a bit silly to me. I talked to Lav, who straight up admits to
because he constantly does this. This is his whole fucking MO.
spreading around revenge porn of Destiny on Discord.
I think it's funny that like the most disgusting guy online who like has tried to make my life a living hell for 2 years has like a disgustingness and it's leaked everywhere, right? So I was even like, you know, don't get caught leaking it, like, but obviously it's advantageous if it gets leaked. Like, obviously I want bad things to happen to this guy. And then I made a screenshot of the screenshot, or sorry, I made the screenshot that Nico Sam sent me, like a grab of just the top of his foreskin, so that you couldn't tell if it was like, you couldn't tell what the picture was. My profile picture in a private Discord server. Now, there's like debate about like how private a Discord server is, right? It had maybe 20 active users, and none of them were like DGGers. It wasn't like a DGGer offshoot server. It was like, and I never said that it was like, I mean, my friends knew that it was Destiny because I told them that it was, but it wasn't like widely known that I was like leaking this, right? Nico Sam had told me that Baby Peach had sent it to several people and that the sex tape was already leaked. So I just didn't, I did not think that like this was something that like he didn't want going around.
No, he probably loves that you shared that. Just call it implied consent. He wrote to me how Destiny would make her send her feet pics to get airtime on his stream, and how he made her out to be crazy and called her mid-Jew pussy. I've heard from multiple sources this
I wouldn't doubt that's true. I mean, just to be clear, I don't know if that is absolutely true or not. Here's what I do know. I do know that like he seems to have a pretty good relationship with Myron, somebody who we've seen DMs before, I believe leaked by Abba and Preach, of him telling these girls that if they want to come on the show, they have to sleep with them. So, I mean, if you're going to be friendly with that type of a person, I can imagine you know, to some degree, I can see you co-sign. It's not unbelievable that you would co-sign that behavior to be real. Like, why is that? Why would that be unbelievable?
Slav story. The only one on the record was Destiny, though. But he tells pretty much the same story, and it's hard for me to tell if this is a story of abuse or just two scorned ex-lovers. Kelly Jean is somebody that I've talked to, and she was very upset because you, in statements I asked about in my first video, you kind of like brought her in with Lav as somebody who was part of a Discord that shared your nudes. And now Kelly claims she wasn't ever part of this Discord, but Lav has very much admitted that she did engage with revenge porn of you. It is undeniable because she has bragged about it many times on camera. Even when I messaged Lav on my own, she was very upfront about it. Kelly says she wasn't. And
Kelly might have said she wasn't, but she knew about it for sure. She knew about all of it. And she remained friends with Lav and continued to chat with her throughout all of it. But, you know, just saying.
So I asked Kelly about this.
Wasn't in the Discord, so I don't.
Yeah, you're saying you weren't a part of any of that.
No, not even slightly. And the first time Destiny has alleged this was about 2 weeks ago, around the same time that he messaged you by the looks of it.
He followed up with him clarifying what he said about you. And he sort of changed his statement to be more of a guilt by association thing, claiming that you hung out with Lav a lot, who absolutely maliciously did do this.
Yeah, so that's not true. The only place that I ever interacted with her is in Gisticle's Discord.
So you're not really friends with Lav, he's grouping you in unfairly?
No, I'm not. What I did say publicly quite a few times, and even recently probably, is I think Lav is great content, right? So I'll say like, I miss Lav, or I want Lav to be around because she's funny, and she's not boring. But that has no indication on our closeness or friendship, right? Even if I was, like, what difference does that make? A lot of people are friends with Lav on Discord, including like a bunch of other orbiters, and like, who cares? It's like,
yeah, so it seems like shitty people Destiny associates with, and then like, oh, he uses that as an excuse to say they're shitty people. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, associate with shitty person, you're a shitty person, associate with shitty person, then the shitty person is a shitty thing while I'm doing shitty things, and then I get to go that person's shitty. Okay, cool.
I think the point he's trying to make is just some hypocrisy.
And it's also convoluted that most people don't like dig into it and try to understand the context of it.
Note, because there is a video that I see that is uploaded.
So that's pretty much seems to be it.
By a channel called Ryle Kitten House, where it's Lav bragging about sharing Destiny's penis around. Kelly never really responded to me pointing out the hypocrisy of it. She just says Lav was banned and unbanned and it became content.
I know that she got banned from Gisticle's Discord, and then there was like a rule in place. She came back, but it was under like the preface of you're not allowed to talk about this banned topic. And then, yeah, I think this is also on Ryle's YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it, but she was in like a bunch of calls like towards like the early part of last year where it did get brought up, and then they had this debate back and forth about whether his dick is ugly or not.
I have not watched that. This is such weirdo territory. Like, what's my take supposed to be? Lav's a hypocrite? Is Kelly supposed to be more mad at Lav? Am I supposed to say, Destiny, how dare you call Lav mid-Jew pussy? Did you call Lav mid-Jew pussy?
Yeah, I did. Fuck yeah, I did. Fuck that. How she killed herself.
Great.
Is there a thing where
Destiny's gonna win the case and you're gonna look stupid on in the face? Why did you rhyme that? Also, I don't care if he wins the case. It doesn't really matter to me if he wins a case. He's obviously a degenerate loser. That's all that matters. But I appreciate the rhyme, I guess. That was cool.
Lav wouldn't sleep with you, so you decided to start like a crusade against her where you talk shit about her and are negative towards her?
No.
Is that a yes?
I said no.
Okay, but then he tells their story of them hooking up and they're falling out, which I end up hearing from like 3 other people. I just don't think any of this is that important.
And we just like chatted a bit on Instagram. And then eventually we chatted a bit on text. I don't think it was ever really sexual. We got like somebody to chat with. I think at some point we make plans to like hang out in real life, with the implication being where so we get to a point to where she wants to I think I fly to California. I'm like, okay.
This is pretty much how it works. Like all these things become so convoluted that people like stop they tune out and they stop caring. I think that's the flow. so to speak. That is like the flow. That's it.
Fine. And then I'm kind of tired though. I don't know. She's like, oh, let's go to a gas station. We get a Red Bull. It's cool. It's whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. Go to a gas station. I got Red Bull. She's whatever. Eventually we get to a hotel room. I'm like, just because you know, like obviously none of that affects this. Like I don't care about any of that or whatever. Just in case, like I wanted to clear the air there. And then she messages me back jokingly, and she's like, oh, I thought I had to fuck you to come on. Ha ha ha. And I was like, okay. Whatever. So like we had that conversation, but she says later on with Mr. Girl, she's like, the only reason Steven sent me that message was so that it seemed like it was okay while he was secretly manipulating me. That's just been their thing for like 3 years, and that's like the abridged version of our time together.
When I told Destiny, if you have one crazy ex, that means you have a crazy ex, but if all your exes are crazy, that means you're the problem. He responded with, yeah, I know it seems like all of my exes, but I bang so many women. In reality, it's actually a tiny percentage.
What it feels like you are implying at times is like, look.
So then why do you, that doesn't make any sense. Then why do you feel the need to fuck this one? I don't understand. Like why you're like, oh yeah, I fuck so many girls. Like it doesn't really matter that much. Like, it's actually a small percentage. So then why do you feel the need to fuck these girls? It doesn't really make any sense to me that you would, I don't understand.
Look, I've hooked up with a ton of girls and most of them there is no problem at all. Is that?
Yeah.
So then why do you feel the need to fuck the crazy ones? What is the obsession?
Yeah.
Or what is the, like I just don't understand what's the motivation.
Yeah.
Okay, is there like a... Dude, this is so... that I'm even asking this. Is there...
What is the percentage of girls? I guess is what I'm asking right now. That are fucking butthurt as opposed to go on, fine. They're like, yeah, I hooked up with Destiny, no big deal. I'm laughing because it's a ridiculous question, but it's genuinely his defense.
Because obviously those girls are never going to complain. We aren't ever going to know Destiny hooked up with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like 1 to 2%. I don't know, like that's... But every single person that has problems with me...
I don't know what the percentage is. It doesn't really matter. You know, you're at a point where you know how to identify if these women are crazy or not. You still continue to interact with them. So, okay, great.
So you're hooking up with that many girls, though, is what you're saying. You're all the time.
Listen, okay? The past year and a half, I've slowed down considerably, okay?
Because of the Vyvanse?
Yeah, kind of. People like presented this as like some weird thing that like, oh, I took Vyvanse to tell my sex drive. It wasn't that. It's just that I took it on like way more focused on work.
I guess that makes sense if the numbers are truly that high. Forget if anyone's crazy. I'm passing the ball to other content creators on that. I just want to focus on the allegations. The allegations from Cherry about Destiny secretly recording her had some doubts behind them because nobody had seen the recording. He claims he had consent to record. She said she didn't. We need the courts to figure that part out. So I asked Cherry if I could get a copy of the police report she filed because that would at least prove that something exists. She said no because she didn't want to risk getting doxxed. But now we don't need that because the recording was recently posted to Kiwi Farm. Kelly Jean sent it to me and it opens up with Destiny starting the recording, putting the phone somewhere, and then sitting next to her on the bed. Bro, this does not sound like she would be aware of this, but I guess we don't know for sure. Now, during our interview, he kept the Cherry stuff off the record, but this recording came out afterwards, and when I asked him about it, he gave me a response, but never a straight answer on whether or not he had consent to record it, saying, no, WTF, we were in my apartment the entire time. She was literally staying over. I asked, is there a reason why you would be recording in your pocket with Cherry? He responds, I never was, LOL. The phone was sitting on the bed or on the nightstand. That doesn't answer anything. Do you have consent or not? We're just gonna have to wait and see if the police report turns into anything.
So it was on the bed by the nightstand. Was there visual? Like, did she know that it was recording? Was it even standing upright to record her? Was it just recording audio because he gets off this? I don't understand. There needs to be more here.
Because he won't say, which, you know, fair enough. I did find it interesting, though, that when I asked Anna if she ever received nudes of other girls, she said yes. Have you ever been sent videos of him and other people where they didn't consent to the videos?
So I've been sent videos. I have no way of knowing if they were consensually, like, recorded or sent.
Can you say who was in them?
Sorry?
Can you say who was in them?
I think it's best to not ask that question, but...
I didn't know the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I saw faces, but, like, I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Although I guess he's asking that question to figure out if it might be, like, one of the girls mentioned to add some more credibility to their case.
Yeah, and so, like... when the stuff came out, I was kind of like, oh, shit. Uh-oh. That means that... What if they, like, didn't consent to that being sent? Yeah. So that was a little... disturbing, of course.
Well, then I can imagine that might be happening to her too, no?
To realize. Yeah, and I mean, I came out like kind of supporting Pixie and like and Cherry, of course.
Were any of those girls? Well, I guess you wouldn't know if it's Pixie or not, right? I don't know if the.
I have no idea.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I got anything about like from any of Pixie's stuff, basically, or Cherry's stuff. Because, like I said, I didn't know who they were.
And that just makes me wonder, was this actual consent or more of that implied consent? When Destiny was going through the Anna drama, he'd tell people to go talk about it on her Kiwi Farms. Her Kiwi Farms thread also hosted her docs. And Ryan Beard made the point that sending people to her Kiwi Farms is effectively just spreading her docs.
And he encouraged them
Yeah, that's a good point.
to post in her thread.
Oh, okay.
Great point, Ryan Beard. Great point, Ryan Beard.
So heads up, this is my only non-media blackout time, okay? This is my only non-media blackout time where immediately like this, okay? Somebody on Kiwi Farms has made a thread of Anna. So if you are obsessed with Anna and you want to talk about her all the time, you, chatter, you can actually go to Kiwi Farms and you can go and post all you want, read all you want, go there, post about it, talk about it.
Some random person did it. Destiny didn't do it himself.
Put a lot of effort into categorizing and archiving everything. There you go, okay?
And in the
I wonder who did that. I wonder.
thread
Genuinely.
about Anna that Destiny encouraged his fans to go message, they doxed Anna. In response to this, Anna texted Destiny, "You literally ruined my fucking life. You just doxed me on your stream. You put me in danger." And Destiny responded to this by saying, "You're doing it to yourself and you're going to keep doing it to yourself."
And recently, Destiny has also called for the docs of some of his biggest detractors. He asked, is Queeman's full docs public yet? At another time, he was calling for J-Stalks.
It's how many people around this person can we
Yeah, that's him basically asking people to like see if they can find the docs.
harass, or can we dox or SWAT or whatever? And like that's just the goal for all of it. It's pretty cringe. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I don't care about these people because, again, this is what Destiny does. There is no perfect victim of Destiny because they're all bad people. Because the only people that are willing to associate themselves with Destiny for a long time, they usually just tend to be bad people. That's the problem. And so we kind of are left here. And then it's like, okay, yeah, Destiny's calling to dox this person, or he's calling to leak this person's news, or this or that. But do we really care? They're all bad people anyway, right? That's where we kind of get at, where it's like, well, they're all really bad anyway. They're not very good people anyway. So does it really matter? That's kind of what ends up happening here. It seems like the strategy.
I expect the behavior from Kiwi Farms. It is what it is. Like I said, communities like that will always exist. But it's really gross when people like Gisticle, whose information I hope I can find soon, are like trying to amplify or put a magnifying glass on info over there and then have it spread into the other world. That's just wild to me.
So I asked Destiny about it, and this is what he said. People accusing you of doxing, right? Because you're referring to Kiwi Farms. Ryan did this with Anna. And then J-Stalk is doing this. Queeman is sort of doing this where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxed yet?
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. For just like Queeman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house into it. But not for Anna, no.
We'll get back to the death threat in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to. That's him communicating to his audience that he's so fucking based.
I just want to address Anna's point of view. And it's you saying like, you doxed me on your stream because your dox was on Kiwi Farms, allegedly. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah.
You ruined my life, right? So do you think what he did there was him maliciously doxing you?
Probably, yes.
I think it was malicious because, again, we were having a fight. It was over. I don't remember what the hell it was over.
Yeah, one in a dozen, huh? Between you two.
Yeah. So the source of our... well, first, like, yeah, I do think it was malicious because he was pretty angry with me at that time.
Yeah. Oh, well, who would have thought that he would he has an anger problem. Oh, who would have thought?
And yeah, he basically said, like, go to her Kiwi Farms page, specifically page 4 or whatever, which was where my docs was. And yeah, so I was
Did he
very
give a page number?
upset. I think he did.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure. Either way, I felt like, oh my God, this is basically doxing me. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because he told people to go there and talk about me and stuff like that, make accounts, things like that. And yeah, I felt like...
He obviously, when I asked him about this, framed it in a not a malicious way. But
oh, interesting.
whether he's naming the page number or not, which is obviously he's framing it as not malicious, but if your docs is on there and everything, well...
Yeah, I mean...
It sounds like he's trying to signal boost her information that she didn't want out there. Yeah, it sounds like he's... I don't know what the legal term, if it would legally be doxing, but it certainly seems like it.
It comes off that way. It feels that way. And I would interpret it that way myself.
Yeah, especially since we were literally still sexting at that time.
According to alleged text messages only 2 days before. And it's not just me who interprets it that way. Destiny interprets it that way. J-Stalk and Queeman sending people to his Kiwi Farms is why he wants them dead.
I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke the fucking house into it.
I shared that clip of the interview at the end of my I'm Alex video. And this is how Destiny justified it when he was asked about it on stream.
If you were like obsessively posting and directing people towards doxes of me, my family members, and all this shit, I have no care in the world for you. I will never have any care in the world for you. And I will gladly and fully admit that. I don't know what you want me to say.
That's the exact same reason Anna was upset with you, but you called her a liar. I'll play his justification anyway. She says like, hey, this ruined my life or whatever. Steven, you ruined my life.
She's lying when she said that. That's bullshit. But what happened was, again, the pattern with Anna was if anybody would bring up anything about her that she felt was wrong, she had to go live and correct the record. And the frustrating thing for me, and I'm sure you've seen this happening right now, is what people will do is people will pretend that they're not getting info off of Kiwi Farms, but what they do is they get info right off Kiwi Farms and then they chat about it in Discord or they talk about it in my chat. So I was getting frustrated and I told my chat, I was like, listen, if you guys want to talk about it, go get Kiwi Farms, whatever, get the fuck out of my chat, don't talk about it there.
That was not an effort to
go,
dox her, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, what the fuck? Like, why would
Okay. This guy's such a scum. I just don't. That's ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous shit. He signal boosts some woman's docs on Kiwi Farms, and then he reframes it as like, "Hey, stop talking about it in my chat. You can go talk about it there instead." As he's trying to pretend that he was the white knight. He's like, "No, I actually helped her by telling the people to get out of my chat and go talk about this information on Kiwi Farms." Dude, get out of here. He's such a piece of dog shit. Oh my god.
I don't even want to do that. Like, what am I? Want somebody to kill her? What, like, that's. I do want somebody to kill Gisticle though, or Lav, or Mr. Girl, or Queeman. Those people can all die, but not Anna. No.
Since you do want these fucking people.
Not for nothing. Truthfully, why is this person allowed on YouTube? Damn, I was just here. Why is this person allowed on YouTube? I'm like, I'm not like saying, oh, we got to call for him to be banned or something. But like, he's sitting here saying that he hopes people kill certain other people. Like, that's fucking insane. I feel like no one else could ever get away with that. Like, that would be preposterous. If I ever said that, I feel like I would get banned. Why the fuck is it like, why is he so comfortable saying like this insane shit here? It's very strange. I really don't get it.
People to die and they fucking suck or whatever, according to you. I mean, I think they're fucking annoying too. When you're saying these things, it is with malicious intent. You just genuinely don't care. Like, fuck them.
Yeah, not for Anna. That wasn't the
Not
case for
for
Anna.
Anna.
Yeah, people were already going to her thread and they were bringing stuff from her thread into my chat. And I was like, listen, if you want to talk about it, like, it's not like her thread was unknown and then
Why wouldn't you? That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you just ban those people? Why wouldn't you just ban them and be like, hey, you can't, like, you wouldn't, he's drawing attention to it on purpose. Get the fuck out of here.
Publicized it. It was that people were going to that thread and then talking about it in my chat. Like, listen, go to Kiwi Farms. Don't talk about it in my chat. Because if you say it in my chat, she's going to see it and then she's going to want to correct the record on it. And I don't want to be part of this bullshit. It's fucking driving me crazy. Yeah.
But with J-Stock and Queeman, fuck them.
The reason why I hate these people is because they're taking part in this thing. Bro, I swear to God, if I quit streaming, I'm going to fucking go on an assassination mission, okay? These people are going to start disappearing one at a time, okay? The thing that it's disgusting to me is that because they don't get a rise out of me and they don't get a reaction out of me, they start targeting every single person around me. Blavs, if you go onto my Kiwi Farms thread and you look at, there's like 15 different sock puppet accounts that are all this guy. He is saying it explicitly. He will say, I am doxing this girl because she's still with Destiny. I'm doxing this person because he's nice to Destiny. They did it with Tom. Did you ever see? I saw a screenshot where they did it with Tom. Where they're like, oh, why is Tom saying this? Does anybody have
Tom?
No. Tom is in
Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery. Yeah.
I don't know. I
think I saw him on TikTok the other day trying that out. I think he stopped though. I don't know.
I'm not.
Okay,
I don't know.
Tomfoolery tweeted one critical question one time about like that rape narrative about me or the crazy narrative. This Stranger Me guy, that's Stranger Me is a Blav. Like, look at that response because he tweeted one thing where he was asking a question, right? And then look at what his response is. That guy, that Stranger Me guy, that's Blav. He's doxed like 20 people in my life. Yes, he doxed Zoe and Jacob. They know it. I got DMs from Zoe where her and Jacob quit the whole internet because they were so terrified of him. He's doxed my girlfriend. Probably like in the
you're signal boosting that other person's doc. So like, why would it be? I feel bad about this.
past like 20 pages, he'll like redox her like every few weeks when he's bored.
Bro,
he's
this guy's saying Willy is a competition for biggest footsie retard. Come on, dog.
Yes, but he's saying that because you won't come out and post a video like unequivocally calling me like a mass. This is what they do. So whatever like you're
okay
bring out right now is a waste of time because if you post this, you're gonna have Hassan's community, you're gonna have these people. That's fine, but you say that now, but it'll turn into them going after you, and then they'll try to dox you or your girlfriend, or they'll go after your family, or they'll go after friends of yours, or they'll go after other people in the commentary community until they make videos about you. Like this is like the pattern. It is so fucking irritating. That's why people like Gisticle and Queeman, if I could, I would put their balls in a vice and crush them, and then slice them off, and then feed it to them, and then slice them and kill them. Okay, because they're amplifying all this shit and they're knowingly playing a part of it. They know what's going on, but like Kelly Jean.
It's wild. No one else could get away with saying all this shit. I really don't understand how he gets away with saying all this. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is fucking preposterous. How the fuck? What?
Dude, I can send you like 50. There are so many albums of them just constantly talking shit about me, talking about my dick, talking about my girlfriend, talking about my kid, like constantly. It never ends. It's never ending. Constantly talking about me, constantly talking about my girlfriend, and half the shit talking about is just stuff that they're like getting off of like Kiwi Farms and just discussing it like in their servers.
Poor Hannah gets no grace for going through the exact problem that Destiny's complaining about. As far as the messages Destiny sent me, yeah, people are talking about him a lot. I'm sure it's annoying, but so what? This is how the internet works. I hate doxing on the internet. It's the worst part of Kiwi Farms because doxing is when online hate becomes offline hate. It starts affecting people's real life, allowing unhinged individuals to then swat them. People have died from this, but he is being completely unsympathetic towards Anna, who had the same complaints about him, and now he wants to be the doxer. Breaking. It's Saturday. I'm in the middle of editing, but I've just been made aware of Destiny addressing this exact
Wait a minute, but it's actually Monday.
argument I make, and I think it's important to let you hear.
Destiny's mad because people are linking to his kiwi farms. Destiny's mad about that, but he linked to Anna's kiwi farms, right? Well, if you look at the two differences in context here, it's not even remotely the same. There was a kiwi farms thread that was posted, and everybody kept basically doing what Justical servers doing, where they would link it in my chat, like, oh my god, did you see this, did you see that? And I think I said something on stream to the effect of, listen, if you want to talk about her, go to our caf thread and talk about her. Don't do it here. I don't want to see this here. This isn't going to be talked about here. Get out. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That's you signal boosting it. Either you're intentionally trying to direct them there and trying to make it seem like you're a virtuous guy for doing it, or you're incredibly stupid and you're directing them there because you're dumb and don't know how the internet works. Like, you expect me to believe that? Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, that was my statement on it. They're trying to pretend like that statement is the same as the 50 extra discords and the room that, Justical has, where they explicitly talk about all of my stuff on there over and over and over again, and they're linking to it and they're referencing it and talking about it constantly. It's clearly not the same thing. Like, if Justical or any of those side servers made the same statement about me that I made about and I would be totally fine with that. If they were like, listen, guys, we're not going to talk about their personal shit anymore. If you want to talk about it, or like their docs or whatever, if you want to talk about it, then go to Caf and talk about it. I'd be totally fine with that.
But here's the difference. Anna's story isn't breaking from Kiwi Farms, it's breaking from Anna's and Destiny's stream. Meanwhile, the sources from the Destiny drama come from Kiwi Farms. They kind of have to reference it to some degree. I mean, would any reasonable person say that I doxed Keffels because I referenced her Kiwi Farms? Absolutely not. I'm not set on this opinion. It's probably a case-by-case basis.
It's a little different. I feel like that's a little bit different based on the context. It sounds like he wanted people to go there and do that, but I guess we don't know, so whatever, it is what it is.
Basis, and I don't know everything J-Stalk or Queeman have said, so I could probably be persuaded depending on the circumstances. Let me know what you guys think. Destiny sent me a message implying they wanted to use these doxes to sue J-Stalk and Queeman. I guess that's better than posting them publicly.
You said J-Stalk has greenlit everything coming from Kiwi Farms, which includes doxes of everyone around you, and they're now proceeding to harass you. You said you have a girlfriend, right? I mean, I know you probably want to keep that private, maybe. I don't know, people know you.
Well, it's not, because it's everybody points to Kiwi Farms where they're doxing her constantly, so. And Kelly Jean is also like bringing up things on Kiwi Farms about her, and she's posting about those things. It might even be one of the albums I sent you in like Justical's Discord, and everybody knows it's coming from Kiwi Farms.
But in this message specifically to me, you said, if I'm after any information regarding J-Stalk, that's for my own purposes. Are you going to sue J-Stalk? Or are you looking into that option?
I'd like to keep that option open. It'd be nice to have that option.
Okay. It's either that or he's actually going to murder them. One or the other.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most f***ed up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. I was so close.
I mean, I don't really believe that your kid had any weighing on your mind as a factor, but okay.
Dress, I had fucking streets mapped out, and you had no idea. That's when
it was the money.
I first started getting interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything.
A toast to the bad guy. The bad bitches, the bad times will pass by.
These are just some other things from my journey that I found interesting. Denims threw herself in is one of the victims who was secretly recorded.
Like he has so many victims, and
another bad person.
He's done this same shtick over and over and over again, where he reaches out, or other women reach out to him who are 18 or 19 or 20, and he does the same song and dance where he tries to use and abuse them and then discard them when it's no longer relevant or useful for him. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. And after that point, he decided to just do a full smear campaign on me, and threatened to leak non-sexual, in this case, I feel like it's important to recognize that, illegal recordings of me.
Got the Giardia Guardian over here.
We had a conversation, and he recorded it in California, which is a two-party consent state, which you cannot record people without their consent. Since that moment, I basically didn't talk about him at all because, like I said, he is a black hole. He's a cynical piece of shit black hole whose only goal is to sexually abuse women.
I saw this and was like, man, Destiny must have really victimized her in some way if she's talking like this. So I asked Destiny, and he says that Denim stayed in his apartment for 2 days banging a dude without his knowledge.
However, one weird thing happened where 2 days before TwitchCon ends, okay, Denims, all right, she said that she had to catch a ride back to LA early, and only one guy could give her a ride back, okay? Are you following me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to be polite...
Why would we take anything he has to say as fact?
And because I'm mindful of, like, I don't want some girl getting, like, trapped and raped or whatever, I told Denims, like, okay, yeah, no problem, that's fine or whatever. However, like, if you need to, like, use my apartment because you need, like, a place to stay, so you're not, like, trapped with some random dude or whatever, like, here's how to get into my apartment, just so you know. She's like, okay, thanks. Okay. 2 days later, me, Melina, and I think Caterino or whatever, we end up, like, driving back to LA, pull into my apartment, it's in Glendale, go upstairs, open my apartment door, and then in my loft, up pops Denim's head and the guy. and I realized that Denims and the guy had just spent the last 2 days in my fucking apartment with my computer on, like, and all my shit. I'm like, what the this was incredibly weird to me. I don't know why she thought I would have been okay with that. It was so dramatic. I sat up both times like, listen, okay, this is all too much, too dramatic, too weird. Like, I don't want anything to do with either of you guys. This is like crazy shit. This has gotten like way too wacky. They both acknowledged that they had both been like unhinged and crazy, and they understood and blah blah blah. And then after that, like we like all kind of went our separate ways. Now, I did record that conversation because the big fear I had, and this happened 2 days later, Denims goes online with her new guy friend, and she's like, Steven kicked me out because I wouldn't fuck him.
And that's pretty much what she's claiming now. So when Destiny offered me the
Maybe it's true. I don't know what it's true. This is fucking so convoluted.
recording, I took it, I listened to it, and he's right. She's just lying about the whole thing.
Okay.
I
was not allowed to be in the apartment?
Fuck no.
Really?
Fuck no.
Why was I not told that he was not allowed to be in the apartment?
Because I wouldn't assume you would bring a stranger into my apartment without asking me. When I volunteers to drive you back, I don't know how you feel 100% because you don't talk about any of this stuff, which is fine. So like, if you're like in an awkward situation, right? I'm trying to be a good guy and give you a way out. Like, hey, well, my apartment is open if you want to go in. So that gives you the ability to either say like, oh no, it's okay, I'll go with, or okay, thanks for offering, I'll go to your apartment. That wasn't like bring into my apartment for him to have free reign in here for a day. Okay, holy shit, that is so fucking weird. And not only that, but you couldn't even lie about it correctly. You told 3 different lies to different people. You told Melina, I would never and I got into
I never said that.
You did. I looked at the text. You did.
OMFG, no.
Yes.
Crazy.
So, okay, OMFG, no. So I come home and you're both still here.
Did you just say OMFG no? Sorry, this is a real life situation that we're listening to a recording of, and he says OMG. What? Really?
OMFG, no.
Yes. So ever and I got into
I never said that.
You did. I looked at the text. You did.
OMFG, no.
Yes.
Oh, they're just referencing a text. Gotcha. Sorry.
Okay, OMFG, no. So I come home and you're both still here. Why? Why would you put me in this weird spot where I have to come home and see an incredibly creepy fucking guy that is such a weird position in my community that's been trying to get me to stop talking to my ex-girlfriend because he's trying so hard to f her, is now f***ing somebody else in my bed, dragging his f***ing hairy balls across my f***ing blankets, okay? Oh my god. And so we leave for an hour. He's like, holy shit, Rich. We leave for an hour and come back and you're both still here. Oh god. I don't know if he's like, I need to get like a few more logs or pictures off of Destiny's computer. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever had somebody fuck me that hard where I've tried to like offer somebody something in my entire life. I don't think I've ever been like so burned on something before. Holy shit.
Destiny kicks her out of the house, and before she goes, she says, I thought it was okay because I thought this weirdo guy changed for the better, completely missing the point for why he didn't like her there.
At this point, I'm like, I thought it was a pretty good judge of character, so now I'm like, am I a really bad judge of character? Has he changed since the last time he's been in your community? Is everything that I've been told fake or something? And it's really fucking with me because generally speaking, I have a relatively good read on people. So
yeah, I'm sure that's true.
I know this
This whole Frogan Denims thing, by the way, is very strange. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it here.
I don't know.
Denim's trying to throw herself in with these victims is so disgusting. She sees all these alleged victims and she goes, I want to be one of them. Let me hide behind California law so he can't prove me wrong. It had nothing to do with hooking up with Destiny. She lies with a smile. I also want to address one particular guy who's determined that I can't upload this video until I respond to him. Well, I worked hard on this video, so I better get to it. It's called WillyMac, PR for a Predator. He's mad at me for interviewing Destiny as if I'm somehow giving Destiny clout.
So WillyMac is choosing.
No, I think that's ridiculous. I think honestly, after watching this entire video, this is, I don't know, my opinion on WillyMac is that he is putting himself in a position of being one of the, if not the most credible kind of what would you call it? Drama interviewer guys. Very articulate of me. This was very well done. I thought this is an excellent video.
To platform a violent psychopathic criminal who wants other creators doxxed and murdered and is laughing about it on Twitter. These two are so unlikable, referring to the people Destiny doxxed and wants dead, even when they're being threatened with their dox. Notice how he doesn't mention the death threats. I can't help but notice how big off losers they are. Lol.
He wants me to pearl clutch over Destiny's violent remarks, where in the tweet I'm quoting, Queenman is making violent remarks towards another Twitter account who simply posted my content.
Curiously, so this guy's like a pathetic cocksucking hack loser, right? He needs to be absolutely kicked into the dirt.
I think he just hates Hassan. But
this guy needs to be stomped into the fucking dirt. This guy.
If you want to say that,
these guys say violent things just like Destiny. They were huge fans of him up until recently. I don't feel like anyone's in any actual danger, but if they feel like they are, they should thank me for giving them the warning and call the cops. He says I'm downplaying Destiny's crimes for predicting that his career won't end over this.
You're totally right, but I've never seen someone's career end over some shit like this.
There's WillyMac downplaying Destiny's crimes who gets interrupted.
Well, no, that's just him saying that
by
he
Nicholas
doesn't feel like it's something that's going to end his career. That's literally it.
Diorio, commentary's top janitor. Diorio downplays Willy's downplaying of Destiny's crimes, then makes sure that optically they're shitting on Destiny hard enough.
Destiny's videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's streaming live to over 30,000 people. Why is me being factually correct about how this will affect his career, downplaying what he did? I think the bigger problem is when people like this guy equate what Destiny did to Jeffrey Epstein.
Especially when we're talking about a guy with the nickname Epsteiny.
Or when J-Stock says Destiny has created a rape machine.
I think one of the a massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work?
You guys make what Destiny actually did wrong seem not that bad, because Destiny didn't rape anybody, he didn't traffic anyone, he broke people's trust who were intimate with him so he could sex the 19-year-old e-girl, leading to these people's images being forever cemented online. Their employers, their kids, their family members can be harassed forever now. That should be enough to hold him to the fire. But the minute you make it about rape, people go, huh, he raped someone? Oh no, he didn't? He sent nudes. Oh, well then, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to cause people to brush off the real claims when you go so overboard. They're like, oh, this one's a lie, so why aren't all of them lies, you know?
You also risk getting sued for calling it rape, but that's just me sweeping, I guess. Common sense is sweeping. He says I shouldn't reach out to Destiny for comment.
Reaching out for comment can be helpful sometimes. However, it is not the ultimate journalistic tool, especially
quite literally is, no?
When we're talking about a guy with the nickname Epsteiny. You shouldn't reach out to Destiny for interview on his crimes for the same reason you shouldn't platform and befriend someone like Mr. Girl. It doesn't really matter if you speak out against touching kids and violence if you befriend and platform people who advocate for such things. You are giving them an opportunity to downplay and normalize their behavior, maybe even make it look cool.
I am investigating a story, reaching out to people to get more information, again, is common sense. If I didn't do that, I'd be no better than President Sunday and Beckett, who didn't reach out to Pixie. Sunday proceeded to slander her horribly because he fundamentally misunderstood the story. Both wound up getting their videos cited in her court document. Quote, the videos include screenshots of private messages of Pixie discussing the situation with friends, and claims that Pixie took hush money, only cares about money, and doesn't care about the other victims of the defendant. All of this is false. That's why it's important to reach out. You saying that I'm irresponsibly platforming Destiny is ridiculous because this video isn't even out yet. You don't even know how it's gonna end up. You know who's not mad at me? Any of the victims or Pixie. I've been talking to her side as well, and I'm going to have an on-the-record conversation with her and her legal team in the future. There are people that are so obsessively mad at Destiny, they'd rather me not do a good job when making a video. It's very odd to me.
I'm going to go through a few other clips and then start asking Willy some pointed questions. Knowing the commentary community, they will never be answered.
Well, it's your lucky day.
1. How much and what kind of input did Destiny have on WillyMac's video on Destiny? Has Destiny had input?
He reacted to this like whole video, it was so stupid.
On WillyMac's other videos?
Destiny has no input on anything I do. Do you think he likes that I'm dragging out this career-defining drama another month? I showed up on one podcast and people think I'm an industry plant. I don't know how to battle this level of delusion.
2. In the initial video,
just ignore these fucking morons. That's what.
But were there parts of the conversation between Destiny and Willy that were left out in an attempt to hide Destiny's influence on the video, particularly in regards to President Sunday and Beckett?
Destiny never brought up President Sunday or Beckett when we talked. Pixie's side did because President Sunday slandered her, and Beckett leaking her document with her intentions to sue before it was ready gave Destiny notice to delete evidence. This is all in her court papers. I knew about this beforehand because I reached out to Pixie and she told me. Crazy how that works.
Has WillyMac ever received any funding or payment from Destiny, Dan Saltman, or anyone else associated with OmniLiberal Studios? That's Destiny's media company.
Not a single dollar. Again, why would he pay me to make him look bad? These people are so stupid.
4. Since Nicholas Diorio has given Dan Saltman optical advice.
But I spoke to him and I'm like, listen, the problem with you and Erudite is you guys knew for months, so you've come to terms with this and you've engaged with it. That's not what the public wants to hear a day after they find out. When you start the initial statement being like, guys, rehabilitation is the answer, before anybody gets their licks in, people are gonna fucking hate you.
And considering some of the other behind-the-scenes conversations that the commentary community has had with Dan Saltman regarding his lawfare against Twitch, among other details alluding to collusion, can WillyMac speak to the collusion between the commentary community, Ethan Klein, Destiny, Dan Saltman, and OmniLiberal Studios?
I'm guessing this guy also thinks a cabal of Jews secretly run the world, because that's the—
They don't, just to be clear.
Same logic. I've never even spoken to Ethan. I think Nick talked to Destiny once on a panel. Does this mean I can never go on someone else's podcast?
I heard that Nick was bisexual because he liked Destiny so much that he influenced him. That's what I heard.
Caster show again because if the person ever gets in a scandal, that means I'm best friends with them. You're all way too parasocial.
5. How much has the commentary community, people like Nicholas Diorio, talked about avoiding backlash from Destiny's community or being fearful of Destiny?
I feel like Nicholas Diorio is like the least concerned about backlash. What are you talking about? That's what it seems like. He doesn't seem to give a fuck. He's like burning that bridge so hard.
Destiny's community or something along those lines. Can Willy elaborate on that hidden influence of fear within his community?
Look what happened with Chud Logic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly. And he was put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out, right, to keep him afloat. Or he could just leak those messages and be justified immediately, and it would start like a huge conflict. And I guess he did the right thing by loyalty.
This guy is completely taking Nick out of context. Nick is giving the sound advice to not go forward with the story unless the victim is willing to go public as well. Is he really saying he disagrees with that? This YouTuber is bad faith or has an IQ in the single digits. This fan fiction is out of control. I've never had a conversation about being afraid of Destiny. Destiny doesn't even have 1 million subscribers. I talk about bigger, more combative people all the time. Realistically, what is there to be scared of? We make YouTube videos. It's not that serious.
It's time that we get an understanding of just how much coordination, fear, and middle school shenanigans go into making it seem like someone like WillyMac is a journalist, like Destiny is a real political pundit, like Diorio is a media expert. They're not.
Other people call me a journalist because I aim for the incredibly low bar of reaching out, which you don't even want me to do. Destiny is a political pundit. What do you think a political pundit is? All it means is someone who talks about politics with authority. And I've never
pretty much. He's on like Piers Morgan, so he would be a political pundit.
heard anyone refer to Nick as a media expert. I don't even know what a media expert means.
If WillyMac doesn't answer these questions, and I'm betting he won't, then I would advise everyone to disregard his coverage of Destiny. He is too close to him to be reliable.
Well, there you go. I answered them, you absolute schizophrenic. This is all unhinged. It's like when J-Stock was asking me why I didn't cover Cherry in my video.
I don't think you worked very hard on this video. And like, for example,
it's just so interesting. I don't know, man. Like all these people have like latched themselves on, so hard to like these ideas. Like I don't know. Like who the fuck are these people? They've latched themselves on to like I don't know. They have like nothing. What do you do? They don't have any other type of like content that they do.
You know, you didn't really include much of the Cherry stuff, which is required, which is what really shook this whole situation up.
When I point out that I did include the Cherry stuff, he says I missed important tweets, so I asked him to link me them.
She tells you explicitly, apparently, that
she didn't tell me explicitly anything.
What I've posted publicly is all I would have to contribute. So she's basically saying, go, like, if there's anything you want from me, I will post it publicly. And these
guys are just like upset. I mean, Destiny's a bad guy and all that, but these guys are so like anti-Destiny obsessed that they make no other content except for fucking like just melting down anytime anything happens.
I did look at her tweets.
They're like weird, deluded, fucking obsessed people.
And link me her tweet right now. That's the big thing with all the information.
I don't know if there's like an archival tweet for this, but there were tweets about it, right?
But you can't
I don't know,
one tweet.
Can you find it now? He couldn't link me a tweet because I didn't miss anything. He then says I should have reached out to him about Cherry.
There are a ton of people around Cherry who could have given you information. Me specifically, I was like,
I don't know who the fucking people are, bro.
Why would I go to a secondhand source about Cherry's allegations? That's literally how Sunday screwed up his video. But then I realized J-Stock only had this opinion because he didn't watch my video.
Like I didn't like prepare that in any way. And like I said, I hadn't even watched the full video yet. I did my like click through, like my little quick skimming.
Cherry then crashed out against J-Stock after this with these insane tweets. I think J-Stock, Destiny, and every other person in my life is trying to get me to kill myself. I think when J-Stock told me I'm Wreckful and he's Dr. K and he promises to be my friend for 2 years no matter what, because he often blocks me if I disagree with him or don't do what he wants me to do. He means for me to depend on him, so I eventually kill myself like Wreckful did. Wow, J-Stock, you seem like you're doing great work over there. The reality is...
Incredible. Just incredible. Wow.
This isn't a career-ending drama, but it is defining. Every time his name comes up, people will bring up this situation, and they are correct in doing so. You can't demand accountability of people where week after week he demands it of all these Republicans, but then in your own personal life, you're just excusing your actions with implied consent, which is just an excuse to share nudes of other people. It's caused real harm to Pixie that he has in the past acknowledged. So I want to wrap up with, do I think Destiny has a pattern of abuse? Well, he sexually assaulted a woman on stream, apologized, and years later slandered Anna on stream while sexting her. She doesn't describe it as abuse, but I still think it's pretty bad. Dan, Destiny's co-host, advocated for his wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a fucking really shitty husband to Melina, okay? I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good. The way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina a lot of times, and she was crying and miserable and everything else, and Steve would say, what do you want me to say? I'm selfish, motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in. He was like, you know, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay.
If you think that he was so abusive to her that she should leave, why are you friends with this guy? It doesn't make any sense to me. Fucking weirdo.
And make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the fuck out of there.
So I don't think I'm sold on it being a pattern of abuse because they're different things. We really don't know the details with Melina. But if other people think this all proves a pattern, I'm not going to argue with them. The clear pattern to me is that Destiny is always sharing nudes. Whether it's Blue Tea or threatening Anna with hers or sharing Pixie's, Stacia's, Melina's, Cherry's. Anna claims that she received other girls' nudes that she didn't know. Was this also without consent? We'll probably never find out. He has to apologize at some point, hopefully when the trial is over. It's like Sneeko calling out people for being heartless while he says Hitler did nothing wrong. Or him calling OnlyFans girls hurrah but hanging out with them all the time. It may seem like an extreme example, but Destiny has victims and Sneeko doesn't. Contemplate that. As far as people just watching Destiny for his politics, I think that's fine. Turns out there's a lot of hypocrites in the political space. At the end of the day, I'm not here to be anyone's friend or enemy.
You can watch whoever you want. I just think that, like, obviously the person is morally bankrupt and doesn't actually care about what the fuck they're talking about.
I'm here to get a laugh, shed light on a story, and do a good job. So subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out Aura. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon, Crimson Glass, River, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Dranko Back.
Papa Gut. The video was really good, man. I can't say anything else. It's pretty good shit.